Hello everyone, today we're taking a look at one of my coaching clients. So I think I'm going to do more videos in the future, like the one I'm going to do today, talking to you about some of the things I've achieved with some of the people I've worked with, because I like to educate you based on my experience and what I'm implementing with myself. But I think you'll find it even more valuable taking a look at my clients, because you might be able to relate to those people more than you'll be able to relate to me, because let's face it, I'm a bit of a freak with this stuff. I really love it. I've been doing it for a long time, and you might feel the same way about fitness, but you have some fitness goals. You want to look and feel better, build more muscle, lose a bit of weight, sustain that, and that's why you watch my videos. So we're going to take a look at one of my ex-clients. Recently, I had the privilege of recently working with Jennifer Mannion. So Jenny came to me last year, and we worked together for an entire year. And Jenny is an amazing person. I don't think I've ever worked with someone as brilliant as her. And anyone who knows her, you won't be surprised by that comment, because there's just no shit with Jenny. What you see is what you get. If she wants something, she's going to go after it. And she's a really good person. So you can learn a lot from Jenny, because Jenny came to me last year, a complete beginner, and she achieved what she achieved in such a short time. Some people might be trying to achieve they won't achieve that in 5 years, what Jenny achieved in a year. And that's not an over exaggeration, because you go to a gym, people have no plan, they don't know what they're doing, they're not taking care of their nutrition, they go in and lift the same weights every time. You can waste time. So Jenny wanted to get this right from the start. So the first thing Jenny did is she hired a coach. She decided to work with me, and I've been doing this for a very long time. She's basically, when she hires me, she's getting access to my brain, and as well as all the tools and knowledge I pass from myself to her, she also gets the accountability of working with a coach. So guys, if you want to make a meaningful change to your physique, if you value your time, it's probably a good idea to hire someone who's done the thing you want to do with themselves or with other people. So if you're looking at a coach, always look at the clients of the coach and see what their track record is like. So I would like to think I have a pretty decent track record. And talking on my track record, something that's very amazing about Jenny is we'll talk about the amount of weight she lost and everything she did, but what's so important to state right now is that she's maintained it. So I've stopped working with Jenny. We stopped working together maybe 4 or 5 months ago. Jenny has maintained her results, which is music to my ears, because I don't just care about my client getting the results, getting the photos and saying, "Bah, Felicia." I want my clients to have the tools and the knowledge to maintain the result if that's something they want to do. Because let's face it, on social media, you see before and after, but you don't see the aftermath of the after. Some clients, if they haven't the proper habits instilled in them, if their plan was a ticking time bomb, they're very quickly going to bounce back from point B back to point A. I don't want that for my clients. So that's the beautiful thing about Jenny's story, is that she's maintained her result. She's very happy. She will never need to hire a trainer again unless she wants to push on and achieve something outstanding again in the future. But for what she got, she doesn't need to hire a trainer again. And that should ultimately be the goal with hiring a coach. So enough on that. But it's important to say that, because a coach's role in someone's fitness journey is very important. You need the proper guidance, and accountability along the way certainly helps too.
Hey guys, so since finishing with Dave, I can gladly say I haven't put the 30 kilos back on again. I haven't gone crazy. I haven't stopped going to the gym. I'm pretty much doing exactly what I was doing, just without Dave on my shoulder, keeping an eye on me. I feel like I learned so much in the year from Dave with the gym and with food, that I genuinely got so interested in it and basically fell in love with it, and became such a routine in my life that there was no way I was going to stop it. Even though I finished with Dave, I was still gung-ho on getting more reps, lifting higher weights, getting bigger muscles, progressing every week, because it became such a part of my life that I didn't want to let that go. So since finishing with Dave, I'm actually going to the gym more often. I'm going like 4 evenings a week now. It was hard at first because, I was so used to Dave being there and telling me what to do and, putting the weights on and, doing my program for me, picking my calories for me. So it was all up to myself at first. So the first couple of weeks was really quite hard, just with the change of stuff. But I took what I learned from Dave and I made myself up a little program, and I tweaked it a lot at first, like just to figure stuff out for yourself. But I tweaked it a lot at first and got the hang of it. I started going with my boyfriend instead in the evening after work. So I still had someone with me. I had someone to assist me, to spot me, push me in those last few sticky reps. So that was really, really good. But yeah, I'm still going to the gym. I lost the 30 kilos originally, and since finishing the cut, I've stopped using my FitnessPal. I'm having a lot more treats. I'm eating takeaways most weekends now, and my weight is still only up like 3 or 4 kilos since I finished, which I'd like to say is muscle mass and water weight and nothing else. But yeah, I'm still getting on really well. Still love the gym, and I don't think that'll ever change. I think I went through so much effort and I really invested in the process that I don't think I'd ever stop or go back to the way I was. It wouldn't suit me anymore. I couldn't imagine sitting on the couch 5 days a week now. I'd be bored stupid. But yeah, that's me.
After hiring a coach, where do we go to next? The biggest bang for your buck when it comes to losing weight is controlling the amount of food that goes in here. The amount. So that falls under calories. We need to establish what's the calorie amount that Jenny is going to start losing weight on. Of course, we need to clean up our diet as well, but the calorie amount is first and foremost the most important thing. And how we stayed on top of that was Jenny tracked her calories using MyFitnessPal, the free version, and then she tracked her calories, her body weight, her steps, and all that good stuff in the progress report data sheet that I give to all my clients. She tracked everything in there every day. And the beauty of this is it takes away the guesswork. I don't want guesswork with my clients. I want to try something, I want the client to be consistent with it, and I want to see what result that gives us. Because if it's not doing the thing we want it to do, then we adjust and see. When we adjust, we see what changes happen then, and if it's going the right way, it's like, cool, we've got it. I don't want to shoot in the dark. So this sheet was fantastic because Jenny was brilliant at sticking to her calories 95% of the time. She was very consistent. I don't expect people to be perfect. It's probably not a good idea to be perfect, and I'll touch on that. But Jenny was consistent 95% of the time with tracking her calories, tracking everything. She just did it. And from that, we were able to see trends. The calorie amount Jenny was actually on is of no use to you. But just know, if you pick a calorie amount, see what happens, see is it giving you the result you want, and then stick with it. And then if you start to plateau at all, take a look at the data, take a look at the steps, take a look at the calories, take a look at the sleep, and then make adjustments if needs be. So we started Jenny with 2,500 calories and just worked our way down over time. We stayed on like 25 for 2 weeks actually, because she cleaned her diet up and she started eating more lean protein, foods that were higher in fiber, cleaner carb, fat sources. And when you do that, those foods can be quite filling. So even though she was eating higher calories before she came to me, she wasn't used to eating those types of food. So we lowered her calories down to 2,300. And from there, guys, like, we stayed there. She was losing weight so consistently, and we only made an adjustment when we needed to. And I think after 12 weeks, she lost maybe 13, 14 kilos. We implemented a diet break. So diet breaks are a fantastic tool if you have a lot of weight to lose. Diet breaks are a fantastic tool because they give you a mental break from lower calories, and they can potentially offset any physiological adaptations that can take place when dieting, such as if you're on lower calories, you mightn't feel this happening inside you, but your motivation to move might be a lot less. So unbeknownst to you, if you're not tracking your steps, your step count is now just getting lower and lower and lower each day, because your body sees that it doesn't have enough energy coming in, so it's trying to preserve energy. It will also do that with other things like twitching, fiddling around. If you're someone who moves around a lot, you'll start doing that a lot less. So the point of a diet break is to potentially offset some of those physiological adaptations that take place. And When you do that, if you do that right, you shouldn't need to lower the calories any lower than they were before. I can put Jenny back on the same calories she plateaued on before the diet break, and she'll start losing weight again. That was the plan, that's what we did, and that's what happened. I think throughout my time with Jenny, we implemented 2 to 3 diet breaks. Fantastic tool for long-term fat loss. And I touched on, I said I would go back to this. Jenny was perfect 95% of the time. Guys, there's no such thing as being perfect. I'm not expecting someone to be an absolute angel. That falls into the all or nothing mindset, and that is a faulty mindset. It doesn't serve you, it needs to go. So there was times when Jenny was hungry and felt like the calories just weren't doing it for her, or she was having a bad day, so she would eat over her calories. She's like, I need to eat a little bit more because it's just not satisfying me today. She would move on the very next day. She wouldn't care, she wouldn't let it get to her. She wouldn't fall into the same trap that unfortunately a lot of people fall into, where they're like, damn it, I screwed my diet. We'll wait again until Monday to get things back on track. That never happened with her. There was just, her mindset was solid. And that's part of the reason why she did so well, and it's also part of the reason why she has maintained her results to date. So the second thing with nutrition was we just established a high protein diet. You need to get your protein up. It's nothing crazy. Whatever you weigh in pounds, multiply that by 1 or 0.8 if you want to be a little on the lower side. And that's the amount of protein in grams you need to eat per day to be meeting a sufficient protein target. A high protein diet really works. The next thing with the diet was we had a calorie target with the protein. I wanted Jenny to follow like the 80-20 rule. So I wanted her to eat mainly clean foods, but I also wanted her to, when she did that, like met her protein target, met the calories, and had like 2 to 3 servings of fruit and veg a day, I wanted her to include things she really liked that we didn't really care about the nutritional value if there was none at all. Foods that were just good for the soul. She did that every night. I think the first milestone we had was after 6 months, she was 20 kilos down, and she went on 6 holidays. And for all those 6 holidays, she went on a holiday every month. For all those 6 holidays, she never tracked her calories, and she ate whatever she wanted. And she enjoyed herself, came back to training, got stuck back into it. No guilt. I love it. Good for you. And every night she would make sure it fit in her calories. She would make like a little dessert bowl for herself. She might have like a curly whirly or a few biscuits, packet of crisps. She would have the exact amount, weigh it out in the bowl, and that's what she had every night. And she also had a takeaway every week. So that's beautiful because it's not too strict. Your plan can't be too strict. There needs to be some fun. There needs to be some foods that are just good for the soul, because you need to do this for a long period of time. And Jenny knew that, she recognized it, and she loved it. She was like, this is great. She's like, this is almost like a game to me, just like she could pretty much eat whatever she wanted and still train and fall within the calories and still see results. She was getting the best of both worlds. So that's very important. Don't be too strict on yourself. You don't need to be super anal about this stuff. Orthorexia is a problem for a lot of people who get stuck into this stuff, who think they can't eat anything that isn't a whole food, picked from a farm, non-GMO, whatever. You don't want to be one of those, okay? It's not necessary. And if you are one of those people and it works for you, brilliant. I'm not trying to shit in your parade. Good for you. So that's the nutrition side of things, guys. We tracked everything. We kept in a progress report data sheet. She was consistent for the most part, and we kept it simple. In terms of training, Jenny showed up to the gym for the first 12 weeks, twice a week, just 2 times a week. And she's seen outstanding progress. She lifted some crazy weights. And after she established she really liked what she was doing and she loved the results after 12 weeks, she increased the frequency of training to 3 times a week. This is important because a lot of the time when people talk to me, they're like, how many days should I do? Should I do 3 or 4? I usually suggest you start on the lower side because you're trying to instill a new habit into your lifestyle. You want to make it easier on yourself in the beginning, as opposed to being too extreme from the start, setting the bar too high and then falling short of that. And then falling short of that doesn't feel good. Like, let's say if you start off 3-4 times a week going to the gym, you're feeling burnt out, you're like, fuck, I think I need to go back and do 3 sessions. Mentally, you might feel a little defeated. Whereas Jenny started off with 2 and added a 3rd. She was gaining momentum. She was just feeling good about the whole thing. In her head, she was winning. The type of training we did full body in the beginning for the first 12 weeks, but then when we moved to 3 times a week, we implemented a lower, upper, lower split. So she was training her lower body twice a week and her upper body once a week. And to our surprise, the progress Jenny was seeing in her upper body was insane. You would have thought she was training her upper body 3 times a week. And that is down to how hard Jenny trained. Every time she came in, she wanted to increase the weights. Sometimes I had to fight with people. I'm like, we're increasing the weight today. They're like, oh, do we have to? Jenny was like, what's going on in that bar? I say the number. She's like, yeah, it is. We're doing it. She was highly motivated. She loved the idea of progression. It was progression. The week-to-week progression she was seeing in her lifts that kept her coming back for more. So guys, track your workouts. I created Jenny's workout plan. I tracked her numbers every session. I knew every weight she was doing. I knew the reps she did for it. And every time Jenny came in, she was like, what was that last week? She was like, I want to do better today. It's as simple as that, okay? Common theme here. You'll see we keep things very simple. And some of the weights Jenny lifted was absolutely absurd. She lost 30 kilograms. She also lifted some weights that are equivalent to like, you'd almost think the girl was training to become a powerlifter. She got some crazy lifts in. I think the max squat towards the end of the year, she barbell back squat at 115 kilos for 1 rep. She was doing sets of 100 kilos for sets of 5, which is insane, guys. She was a complete beginner. She came in as a beginner, and in her first year, she's doing all this, losing 30 kilos and then lifting these weights. She was benching, she benched 60 kilograms twice. She was chest pressing, she got up to the 22.5 dumbbells for reps, shoulder press 17.5, then 20, she got 20 kilos overhead for 3 or 4 reps. She was doing a reverse lunge with a 50 kilo dumbbell for 3 sets of like a rep range of 10 to 15. Hello! Oh, thanks, girl.
Oh, sorry,
Thank
who are you
you.
videoing?
That's fine. Coffee there, a
I'll
little
give you
bit.
your coffee. There's no milk or sugar in that now. It's just black
Legend.
Americano.
Thank you.
Yeah, no bother.
Appreciate it. Legend, Abby. So yeah, I could go on and on about Jenny's lifts. I'll keep them up on screen here. You'll see them. Just phenomenal. And that's just down to having the plan, see what the numbers were there, and Jenny coming in wanting to beat that every time. She was so good at that. We had such a great time. And that's the next thing to touch on. Have fun. Jenny found fun in progressing and lifting heavy weights, and the two of us would get such a buzz. We would feed off each other's energy because we're like, I'm like, we're putting on this weight. She's like, yeah. Or we're looking at a weight. She's like, looking at me. She's like, go on, throw it on. I'm like, yes, let's do it. And we had such a good time doing that. We had a laugh, chat about life. The gym was a fun environment. Tunes were playing. The other trainers, clients in the gym, we would all have a good time with each other. And another thing, why it was so fun, is because Jenny was working with me, so was her boyfriend, and so were 2 of her very, very good friends, Gary, Jason, and Sarah. I was PTing all of them. This was a unique case. Imagine you were going to a trainer, and so were your best mates and your partner or a spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend. Imagine all of you were going to the same trainer and you're all on the same buzz. What do your nights out look like? What do your weekends look like? You no longer have people being like, go on, have that. You're all kind of on the same buzz and you're all training together and like asking each other what you did in the gym, and you're all feeding off that. This was the first time for me having that set up by training people who were all friends. That definitely benefited them all. So if you're thinking about hiring a coach, get your friend to do it as well, or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and say, we're doing this together. And I promise you, you're going to have an easier time because your environment plays a huge role in your success. To recap everything Jenny did, all very simple. She got a coach. She tracked everything. She was consistent 90% of the time. She had a protein target to hit. She trained 2 to 3 times a week, 3 times a week towards the end. She implemented diet breaks when we felt like the weight was stalling, and then continued back in the deficit after 2 or 3 weeks, a period of 2 or 3 weeks. And oh yeah, cardio. There was only cardio towards the end, two cardio sessions towards the end for 20 minutes on like a bike or the treadmill. Basically, I just gave Jenny a step count to meet every day. So she just went for a walk after work, or on the days we weren't training, she just went for a longer walk. And that was it. She just gave it time. She was very consistent. And it just goes to show what you can do in 1 year. Remember, she was a complete beginner. She had no prior experience within a gym. And she managed to lose 30 kilograms of weight, lift all the weights she did, and she's managed to maintain her result as well. I couldn't be more proud of her. She's an inspiration to a lot of us, and she is the client that showed you what is possible, what you can do within a year if you get this right, have a good plan in place, be consistent, and enjoy yourself along the way. So Jenny was an absolute exceptional client. Guys, if you are interested in a similar result, you are more than welcome to get in contact with me. We'll schedule a call, we'll have a chat. It's completely free and we can bounce some ideas off each other. You can tell me your situation, I'll tell you how I work, and we can see if we're a good fit. And yeah, if you're serious about making change, then it's probably a good shout. I don't think you will regret it. Chat soon, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.